A portion of this video is brought to you by Sheath Underwear. For more information about Sheath Underwear, visit the link in the description or wait till the end of this video to hear more from me. Last night, here in Washington, D.C., a horrific plane crash took place. 67 people are dead. No survivors. We don't know, and that's really the basis and the crux of the topic of this video, is that we don't know yet what caused it. The cause of the crash certainly will be of import, will be of interest to the families of those who died. But in the meantime, people seek comfort in leadership and a surety. People seek answers in a moment like this. Actual answers, not blaming invisible boogeymen. And that is what Donald Trump is offering. In lieu of genuine concern, in lieu of a fulsome, probing investigation to get to the bottom of what took place here, whether it be the helicopter crashing into the plane or just an avoidable collision of some sort, Donald Trump is blaming diversity, equity, and inclusion. The laziest motherfucker on the planet goes straight to racism as in some kind of a salve for the families. Here, put this on your wounds. I'm a racist. This should help you feel better. He went on a screed about Pete Buttigieg, but here, I'm going to play this clip, and then there's the reporters in the White House press briefing room pressing Donald Trump on how is it you're acting with you're so assured of what took place when we don't even know the names of the people yet. First, though, here he is being a racist piece of shit, blaming minorities or respect for minorities or diversity for the crash that we know absolutely nothing about at this point.
Office, they put a big push to put diversity into the FAA's program. Then another article, the Federal Aviation Administration, this was before I got to office, recently, second term. The FAA is actively recruiting workers who suffer severe intellectual disabilities, psychiatric problems, and other mental and physical conditions under a diversity and inclusion hiring initiative spelled out on the agency's website. Can you imagine? These are people that are, actually their lives are shortened because of the stress that they have. Brilliant people have to be in those positions, and their lives are actually shortened, very substantially shortened because of the stress, where you have many, many planes coming into one target.
Donald Trump is claiming that the FAA sought out people with intellectual disabilities to be air traffic controllers. It's just a fabricated lie. And it's a fabricated lie with one intent: to shift blame to someone else other than himself. Listen, if DEI was ended the moment Donald Trump came into office, he made all kinds of promises about what he would do in the first 24 hours. We're well past the 24-hour mark of his being president a second time. So DEI is over. I'm going to do a video later about Pete Hegseth saying at the Pentagon, DEI is dead. It's dead. So how are we blaming DEI for this horrific crash if it's dead, if it's gone, if it was done away with, if Donald Trump solved the problem magically? A problem that's not a problem, by the way. Well, luckily there were reporters in the room to press him on this. Caitlin Collins from CNN was there, front row, asking Donald Trump, we don't even know the names of the victims yet. How is it you're so sure of what took place when we have no idea the details?
We don't even yet know the names of the 67 people who were killed, and you are blaming Democrats and DEI policies and air traffic control and seemingly the member of the U.S. military who was flying that Blackhawk helicopter. Don't you think you're getting ahead of the investigation right now?
No, I don't think so at all. I don't think with the names of the people, you mean the names of the people that are on the plane, you think that's going to make a difference?
Does it comfort their families
They
to
are
hear you
a
blaming
group of
DEI
people that have
policies?
lost their lives. If you want a list of the names, we can give you that. We'll be giving that very soon. We're in coordination with American Airlines. We're in coordination very strongly, obviously, with the military. But I think that's not a very smart question.
But are you
I'm
blaming-
surprised coming from you.
Are you blaming your...
That's not a very smart question, says Donald Trump. A man who misunderstood the point of saying we don't even know the names yet. Well, if you want the names, we'll get you the names. She's not asking about the names, dumb f***. She's illustrating that because we're so early, this is only hours removed from this tragedy. And you're blaming other things rather than just wait. Just take a beat. Take a moment. Go upstairs and watch Fox News, guy. Just wait for the investigators to get to the bottom of it. I don't know that all the bodies are pulled from the Potomac yet. And Donald Trump is spouting off about intellectually disabled people and DEI and anything to take the blame off himself. It wasn't just Caitlin Collins. Here's another reporter asking the same thing. How have you come to all these conclusions already? Here was Donald Trump.
Today blamed the diversity elements, but then told us that you weren't sure that the controllers made any mistake. You then said perhaps the helicopter pilots were the ones who made the mistake.
It's all under investigation.
I understand that. That's why I'm trying to figure out how you can come to the conclusion right now that diversity had something to do with this crash.
Because I have common sense, okay? And unfortunately, a lot of people don't. We want brilliant people doing this. This is a major chess game at the highest level. When you have 60 planes coming in during a short period of time, and they're all coming in different directions, and you're dealing with very high-level computer work and very complex computers. And one of the other things I will tell you is that the systems that were built, I was going to rebuild the entire system, and then we had an election that didn't turn out the way it should have.
Because you have common sense? One, first and foremost, you don't have common sense. You are among the stupidest individuals to ever hold the office of president. A man with zero intellectual curiosity, who doesn't read books, maybe can't read books. And yet you relying upon your common sense. A guy who stares right into the sun during an eclipse. Common sense. A guy who denies the efficacy of wearing a mask during the pandemic. Common sense. Fantastic. Look, unfortunately, things will get worse before they get better. And we're not going to see anything get better until Donald Trump is gone, whether that be from natural causes or just his term ending here. But people will suffer as a result. Donald Trump's budgets and calls for firing people and putting pauses on funding and cutting back on FAA budgets and personnel. This will lead to more of this. This fetishizing of lowering budgets and having low workforce numbers. This is what it leads to when you don't have redundancy, especially in the important task of air traffic control. Again, we don't know what caused this. I've listened to the audio multiple times, the 8 or so minutes surrounding this crash. And look, I'm not an expert in aviation at all, but it seemed pretty routine until it wasn't. And that's what the investigation is for, to get to the bottom of this. What do you think? I invite you to this conversation. You can comment below. You can also call the voicemail line 714-576-4054. You can email me daily@dollemore.com. I can tell you what, before we even get to any answers from the investigation, what we don't need right now is racism. What we don't need right now is bigotry. That's never an answer when serious matters are at hand and we are seeking serious answers to our very serious questions. If you want to help support this work, Click the join button below, become a channel member for $2 a month. You can go to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Follow me on social media. I'm at Dollemore. I'll see you next time. Be genuine and take care of one another. I talk nearly every day about how divided we are as a country and the havoc that this division wreaks. But not all divisions are bad, right? As a mathematical concept, for instance, division allows you to split things into equal parts, allowing for equal shares. Division of labor has, for thousands of years, allowed humans to evolve their efficiency and specialization when working on certain tasks. And you can ask any kid to tell you that dinner is far better when the meat is divided from the veg. And what's more annoying than when you're sitting at a cramped table or out in the humid weather than having your meat smashed into your two veg? Is the meat and veg metaphor working here? It's time to divide and conquer with Sheath. Sheath makes the most comfortable boxer briefs I have ever worn. Regular boxers are just too loose and bunchy and not great. And briefs are just a smush fest. Sheath are the solution. Head to Sheath.com and use promo code Dollemore to score 20% off and upgrade to the most comfortable underwear you'll ever wear. I'm wearing a pair right now, and indeed, that may be all I'm wearing under the desk here. But really, sheaths are the only underwear I wear. Absolutely fact. Their testicular tech features dual pouches to keep your mane apart from your sides. More dinner metaphors. Note, if you're not into the division for some reason, you don't have to use the dual pouches at all. Just throw your sheaths on like regular pair of underwear and you're good to go. Also, Sheath's stretchy fabric is super soft and made with moisture-wicking technology to keep your president and his cabinet cool and comfortable throughout the rigors of the day. I love my sheaths all the time, but they are particularly clutch in the sticky heat of DC summers, which is basically like 9 months out of the year. They were invented by a U.S. Army veteran while serving a tour in Iraq. The idea for Sheath came from discomfort in harsh environments. As a former Marine stationed in that part of the world, I get the inspiration. The airflow meshes are my personal favorite, but Sheath has tons of excellent styles and designs. Pick a pair and Sheath will hand them to your doorstep nearly instantly thanks to blindingly fast shipping and amazing customer service. Also, Sheath supports multiple charities like Socks for Soldiers and Doctors Without Borders. So with your purchase, you're making the world a better place too. Upgrade your undergarments, score 20% off right now when you head to Sheath.com and use code Dollemore. Divide and conquer your discomfort with Sheath underwear.